Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine and I'm the Activities Coordinator here at the SU. Today we're going to be running through a few slides just to go through event training, what you'll need for your events, what you need to look out for and what you need to think about when you're planning your events. Hopefully this won't take much longer than like 10 minutes. The slides are quite wordy, so feel free to pause, have a read through and come back. At the end, if you could complete the questionnaire in the committees hub, that would be fab. And we'll be going over them and letting you know how well you did afterwards. So, aim of the session today is to go over how you plan and run your event. We're going to be covering a lot, so please take your time. And hopefully by the end of the session, you'll know how to plan your event. So first things first, an event proposal form. You'll find these on the trips and events section on the committee hub. You need to fill out all of the information that it'll ask for you there. Please give as many details as possible. If you need additional support, this means if you'll need the card reader or if you'll need space or room bookings. If you need a room booked, please put that on there. Once the event proposal is approved, all clubs and societies are expected to upload tickets and the event announcement via your SU webpage. Again, please make sure these events are filled with as much detail as possible. This helps the students that want to join your event and also helps us as well in advertisement. If you have any alcohol or food, you will need to declare that with a catering waiver form, and it will need to be signed if it's homemade or bought from an outside provider, even if it's a supermarket or a business. For insurance purposes, we will require a risk assessment for every single event. Some of you have already done risk assessments before, and especially for your regular sessions, you will also need a risk assessment for any sessions that are outside of your regular sessions, any events that are planned. Also, if you're in doubt, just send one in anyway. We can always help you add in for more information or correct you on a few things here and there. When you do submit your risk assessment, please put the location, the date and the time. Even if you're not sure, even if it needs to be adjusted slightly, it's better putting it on there then and adjusting it instead of leaving it blank, because we will ask you to fill that in. Please put a budget on there. Even if it's down to £5, you'll need to put that as a budget form. This helps us look at your accounts and also helps you manage your money better. We do encourage you all to collaborate on events as much as possible. There is a section on there to say where you will be collaborating on the event. You both, if there's two societies or two clubs or a mix, you don't all need to submit an event proposal form. It would just be the one club or group. However, we have introduced new collaboration forms as well. So we might be sending you those forward if you are collaborating. Okay, just on time scale, it gets quite busy for us as a team and also for you, especially during exam periods. So please get your events in plenty of time, even if it's a small scale one. Small scale events, you will need to submit them 10 working days in advance at least. But please, if you've already got one planned, get it in as soon as possible. Small scale events in the Stannery over a certain amount of people, I think this is 50, you will need 3 weeks in advance. Large scale events, 4 to 6 weeks. Guest speaker events will need 21 days working notice. This is very important. This is a campus-wide agreement, not just an SU agreement. So it will be 21 working days, and your date that you submit your event proposal form, even if we don't get back to you in the 21 days, we'll take note of when you submitted it. So it has to be 21 working days for guest speakers. Overnight trips in the UK will require 4 to 6 weeks. But again, as much time as possible, and also with trips abroad as well, at least 3 months notice. I'm saying at least on all of them. It's because if you can get them in more time, that's better for you and better for us, and it works out better in general. Okay, risk assessments. For all events, a risk assessment will need submitting with the event proposal, as your group has a duty of care towards students to protect them from harm. You need to be as detailed on these as possible. You can never go over the top with a risk assessment, as much as you can. If there's not enough detail on there, we will not be approving the event until that is corrected. It will all need to be tailored to your event specifically and how you're running it. If you need any help at all, there is links on the committee hub as well to help you further. If accidents do occur at your events, remember to log them on the accident report form, and please let somebody on the activities team know as well. Budgeting. A budget form is required for any event in which you'll be spending money. We will need to see that you've effectively budgeted for this. It's useful for you, it's useful for us. Like I said, even if it's down to the last £5, we'll need to know where you're spending that, if it's coming from ticket sales, if it's something that you are all budgeting for, anything like that. If you would like to raise funds via a fundraiser event or financially break even when running events, then a huge loss. Think about the price for your event. If the equipment is expensive, then the price tickets are slightly higher to ensure your society is not losing out by hosting this event. Please take into consideration how much you are spending, and if it needs to be ticketed, you don't want to go into deficit over an event. You want to keep that nicely rolling through. If you've got any questions, or if it looks like it might go into deficit, but it will be come back through from tickets, you can always ask us. And just to clarify, sometimes we might clarify with you just to make sure that you know how much you'll be earning back, and if there's any other details that we might need to ask you, we will ask in advance. Trips abroad. If your group plans to travel abroad, please inform your community coordinator so they can support with arrangements and provide you with the correct documents. Please do this plenty of time in advance. We do encourage you to talk to us first before planning a trip abroad, but just because there's a lot of information and a lot of things that we'll need from you. So if you ever wanted to just clear something first, please let us know. Our insurance policy doesn't cover groups going abroad, but a risk assessment is still expected for the whole trip. Please be, again, as much detail as possible. Students traveling abroad are heavily advised to purchase travel insurance and register for a global health insurance card. If you need help with this, please let us know. Always happy to help with this, especially if you are going abroad. We will need as much information so that the universities are aware as well. So attendees, trip itinerary, any other relevant information needed. Just make sure it's all included. During the trip, there needs to be at least one allocated sober rep for each day of the trip. As a committee, you have a duty of care for your members. This is really important. Again, please make sure this is on the risk assessment. If you have any questions, though, do let us know. Cool. So guest speaker events need to be submitted on an event proposal form with 21 days working notice so guests can be vetted. This is a campus policy, not an SU policy. We have to check with the campus that everything is okay. It needs time to process as well, as other teams need to look into it. Like I said earlier, your date that it will be submitted on will be taken into account. And you really need to remember it's 21 working days, not just days. If you've got any questions, please go over the guest speaker policy and share that with your speaker as well. We need to make a room booking for that, and it will only be made once the guest speaker is approved and not before. We might need to talk to you about other further details as well if anything comes up. Okay, licenses. This is mainly for film licensing. Films require a license. The SU has a public video screening license with the Film Bank. Film screenings are only allowed to be advertised via email or in a closed group chat. Please do not advertise this on social media, on newsletters, on blogs, or anything like that. Like I said, email or closed group chat, so please don't put this on social media. Keep it very limited. You will be charged £10 for the year for unlimited number of films shown. Films must be on a film bank and groups need to source a DVD, Blu-ray format. A lot of DVDs can be found in the library. Also, Netflix hold a documentary license that we can use as an educational platform. So if there's any documentaries that you would like to watch, we can have a look on Netflix for you as well. With alcohol licensing, the campus bar holds the license and therefore we must go through them. If you want to have alcohol at your events, you cannot bring your own alcohol onto campus. You will need to get it through them. Outside of campus, you would require a TENS license through the council. If you need more information on this, please let us know. Barbecues, if you're looking to host barbecue in the community, please ensure you've checked the facilities, bylaws, rules, and update your risk assessment. Please also check with the beaches that you'll be having your barbecue on that it's okay, and if certain types of barbecues need to be used. Again, if you're unsure, please just let us know. Advertising and ticketing. Once your event has been approved, you can advertise your event and ticket for those wishing to attend. If your event has not been approved, we will not be letting you advertise. You cannot advertise until your event is approved by us. Otherwise, you will be at risk of having your event taken down because it needs to be approved before you can advertise it, just in case anything goes wrong. If we need to update anything, if any details need to be changed, it cannot be advertised until we have given you the approval to do so. You'll need to put the details for your event via the events tab on your group admin dashboard. When it is approved and you can advertise it, please include as much information on there as possible. It's lovely for students to have a look at what actually is going to be happening. It's no good just putting on there the date, the time, and what it is. Please use that section to fill up as much with as many details as you can and as much information as you can. If you need some guidance on that, please let us know as well. And once the event is created, you can put the tickets on sale via the tickets tab on your group admin dashboard. If you need help with this, there is also some training videos on the committee hub as well, so please check those out. GDPR practice. GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation and is a legal framework that sets guidelines for collection and processing of personal information. I've gone through this a little bit already in the general SU information. Please do not have names, emails, phone numbers on random bits of paper. That is not safe. You need to make sure that they are safe and secure. As a committee, you will have access to members' full names, emails, any details like that. You have a responsibility to ensure you're keeping this safe and only for as long as required as well. You cannot go sharing this personal information with anyone else and must ensure that no information is written down, like I said, such as on a form or collecting data this way. This is especially important during welcome fair. Do not have sign-up sheets on bits of paper. Look into having a safe and secure way to do that. Be careful not to tag groups' exact whereabouts on social media. It's not clever. It is sharing your location. So please keep that in mind when you're posting it. Be mindful sharing full government names and information on your exact meeting points on the internet, especially during when you do your committee shout outs on Instagram. Please don't be sharing too much information. And if you are sharing information, make sure you have their permission to do so first. Please remember that anybody can see anything on the internet. So please bear that in mind when you're sharing information like that. There we go. So that went quicker than I thought. If you do have any questions, please let us know. We are usually in the SU Monday to Friday, 10 to 4. I will usually be on the Falmouth campus 10 to 4, but if you do have any questions, please email activities@thesu.org.uk.